We're gonna have a Kickturn party tonight. Alright!
Hey, welcome back to Kickturn Party!
We're back again, and we did an episode a little while back about dishes, because dishes ain't nothing but dishes. And so we're going to talk some more about dishes, because what we talked about was like the old Wallows back in the 80s. But there's some other dishes here in Knoxville.
And I lost all the footage. That's why we're redoing
Our
it.
producer forgot to hit the save button and lost all of that. And
That's
first
okay.
of all, before we get started, notice that we don't have JD here with us today. Skate God's back in the JD chair, ready to fill in as guest host, and it's actually working out. He's got a little bit of a fan following.
That's right. That's right. He's our newest member, and you know we're getting fan mail from all the chicks. We're about Skate God, so he's back.
And what did we do 2 days ago? We had a ditch session.
We had a ditch session at Wallows. Now,
We have a pretty epic ditch here in Knoxville that we named after the very well-known Wallows ditch in Hawaii, and we just call it Wallows. So if anybody's confused out there in TV land, we also call our ditch Wallows.
Actually, we didn't name it. It was named that before we even got there. Some older guys than
well
us,
before I
which
got
is,
there.
I don't know who was older than us, but older than me anyway.
People have been skating this ditch
But,
in Knoxville since
I
at least
think
the 70s.
I think you've got some OG footage from the 90s. Not this footage.
That's-
Oh, yes.
that's
this
90s
is old.
footage.
So, Rhett, you probably know some of these guys. I'm not sure who some of them are.
So you'll notice that you see a grassy landscape there, like a shore, and that doesn't exist anymore. It's all gnarly weeds and
So
Trees. It's
in my
it's the middle of a forest
in
now.
my tenure of the years of Wallows since the 80s through today, it is overgrown. The city comes in and bush hogs it down. It overgrows. The city comes in and bush hogs it down. I was indoor, wasn't it?
I believe so.
So it's gone from grassy plain to overgrown trees several times. The very first time I ever went to Wallows, you wouldn't have known it was there if you didn't know to crawl through the trees.
And I remember the first time I saw it was from a school bus. It was completely mowed down, and
That was like 86.
yeah,
or
looking
something.
down in there and seeing the punk band graffiti and
Yeah.
guys in there flipping and sliding around, it just blew my mind, and that's when I knew I've got to skate.
Yeah.
And this is before they rebuilt it. It has been rebuilt. T-Dot came in, they mowed it down, rebuilt the whole ditch,
So-
or the upper part of the ditch.
Well,
anyways.
behind what you're seeing right here, behind that tunnel there, is the interstate. Interstate 40, 75 combined, running through Knoxville at the paper mill exit, is right behind there. And T-Dot redid that and redid the interstate. And when they did, they took off that hip, which was that hip right there that everybody's jumping over is gone now.
Yeah.
The tunnel's still there, but the almost the best part of it being that hip is gone. And I've got a picture of J-Cab doing a boneless one, boosting out of that hip that he has to be chest high, and his foot's already back on the board, and he's sailing. It looks like he's doing a frontside air, but it's actually a boneless one.
Yeah, so all that got cut out. This is, we used to have Wallows jams down there every 3
First
or 4 times
contest
a
I
year.
ever went to.
Yeah, we would drag a keg down there. We'd have a great time.
Yeah. Recently, we had the My Elizabethan crew on, and they talked about Gary Miller winning first place at one of y'all's jams.
Yep.
once,
Oh,
so,
nice.
yeah.
That was like Wallows Jam like 88 or 89.
Yeah.
The first one I went to was Wallows Jam 86.
And, it was just an underground thing. And the cool thing about it was we didn't have any judges. We didn't have
How
any-
we scored it, yes.
The way we scored it was we passed out pieces of paper and everyone said, write down your top 5 guys, even to the spectators and everything.
Yep.
Write down your top 5 people who you thought was the best. And then we take all that and total it up. And that was how we got our results.
And what was great is usually it was pretty much an agreement. Everybody agreed who was really on it that day. But you would get guy in red T-shirt, guy in weird rector pads, like because people didn't know everybody.
Right.
And you would get except for of course the core guys, everybody knew them.
Yep.
But I remember Scott Simple being there. And
Tim Troutman
Tim-
won it one year. Rest in peace, Tim.
Yeah.
Surfer guy, just ripper surfer guy. He wasn't doing kickflip. This was way before kickflips or any of that stuff.
Burts
And he
and
was
boluses.
he was just ripping down the ditch. So it's changed a lot since then, a whole lot. And TDOT came through. They mowed the ditch down. They turned it into something else.
Yeah.
So this is the guys from Cookeville. They've come out and they've rode a couple of times.
You guys can kind of see the similarities and the differences. There's a lot of DIY that's gone on. Some of the local younger crew have gone in there and poured some concrete, put some pipes in.
Is that right where he's at? That's kind of where it stops. That whole ditch is skatable. And
All the way down to
Right,
the big
right.
metal culvert.
I'm
Well-
wondering when people are going to move on down.
I think there looks like there's a little bit of action going on down there. Needs to be a lot of work done. But the upper part is definitely the best part. So this is actually from a year or two ago, and it's changed just a hair bit since then. But this is overall what the ditch looks like now.
This looks like about last year when we went and hit it a couple of times.
Yeah, and it's a good ditch. I mean, still, even without the hip, even without the stuff we had before, it's still a fun ditch, and it's easy to find. It's actually on Google Maps.
What I
You go to
always
Google
like-
Maps, you can find Wallows.
What I always liked was the far side was steeper than the one side, so it wasn't the same wall on each side. You had a steep side and a mellow side.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a
and
wheeler.
that quarter pipe's kind of janky. It's kind of hard to hit.
All right, the first time I went there, it was next to a 76. There was the giant orange ball.
No, it was
Right.
it was Gulf, not 70C. It was Gulf.
It was a 76 at one time, wasn't it?
I thought it was Gulf gas, the big orange Gulf.
Well, dang it.
And that was back when Adam sold copiers that drove you nuts. You guys remember that?
Yeah, we had one in the house. I printed Jane Doe's on.
And if the cool guy was working at the Gulf station, he wouldn't run you off because you would park up there. But if the jackass was working there, you'd get run off.
And it used to be back in the day, there'd be 20 people down there, 20 different skate buddies down there.
Oh God! When we'd have Wallace jams, there'd be 40 people
There'd be,
and
yeah.
a keg of beer.
Yep.
So,
Man, I've eaten shit at the Wallows so many times, like really
there-
just piled at that place.
there's a great video we're going to show here in a minute of me eating shit on it.
And on video, it doesn't really show how kinked those transitions
Which
are.
one is that?
That's nice though. That was a nice
You!
layback one. So, we just watched a little video of the original Wallows from back in the '90s, and now we just went down there the other day.
I didn't.
He did.
I'm wounded. So I
He's
can't stand
wounded
it.
right now, and I took video because I'm wounded too. But Rhett was ripping it up, and JD and my class. So we had a little session down at Wallows in the new and less improved Wallows that is sitting down there now, and this is video from that. So
Pause
I
and
really like.
back up to the less improved. part.
I really like that part with the mosaic that those guys put in there. There's actually some decent concrete work down there. Some of it's good, some of it's not so good. But this is what's going on. JD, nice boneless one.
Yeah, JD owns that spot. Man.
He was
He was
owning
tearing
it.
it up. Lance was killing it.
Mike Lance was killing
Lance
it too.
kills everything he skates.
I was second shift, so Rhett was leaving when I got there, but I did see him do a couple of those.
Yeah, there's Brett doing
There's
that backside.
Fat man.
And there's
Oh, Jay, eat shit. Yeah.
that was my bum ankle.
Right into the wall.
Oh,
That's what it looks like when an old man falls.
Yeah.
Well, Cardwell took a spill, and
I
he
missed
landed on his knee pads, and I thought, that's why you wear knee pads there.
My favorite
And
part
I
of
didn't
Jay's
have them on.
slam was that he was being mocked by all that DIY crap as he crashed right at the foot.
Exactly.
It was as if the spirit of everyone who built that
Was getting on
knew
that.
you were skating
Yeah,
there.
right.
Yeah,
Nice.
I saw that one.
You know what I really like about that red is the wallet chain.
That's what I was gonna say too.
I have to keep my early '90s credibility.
The pants aren't quite baggy enough. The wheels
Just
aren't
in
quite
case,
small
just
enough.
in case you're looking for some
But
black blizzards
you
over,
had-
over at Bucky's in Sevierville.
That's right.
The wheels aren't small enough, but the wallet chain is fine.
Clay.
Is that Clay?
Was he
No,
there?
yeah, this was a few days before.
Oh, okay.
Clay showed up. Me and JD were sessioning.
Did he
JD was sessioning. I was
No, he just
filming.
talked about how he could skate it better than everybody else. I could do that, man. That ain't
I hope you're watching, Clay.
I ain't watching
spider
this.
stance.
Yeah, but you got a nice 50-50 there. Look at this.
It looks like
No,
that
not
hood
there.
is
No,
a
it was-
parachute behind you.
It was the other one.
Yeah, I got the 50-50, and I sent a picture to my son. And I said, "Oh my gosh, everybody there had such good style, and I just look like a fat spider."
Coming to
You
my
really
way.
don't.
Well, you know what? You're skating.
And he really does it. He's just
No, I think he's got Steve Alba style.
You know what else
Steve
I'm doing?
Spider, Steve
I'm
Alba.
destroying. I'm skating and destroying.
That's right. That's
really.
right.
See, I skate and create.
Ah, that's cool. Transworld.
So there's another good shot of the DIY, the good and the bad.
Yeah, yeah.
It gets better as you go toward the
Well,
toward
you know,
the
and
underpass.
they've torn some out. It looks like some of it's going to be
I
rebuilt.
can't believe Lance isn't wearing
Like I
any
said,
pads.
there's some good stuff going on there. There's some bad stuff going on there. But you
There
know,
were some needles there.
overall, you know, it's
we
there-
ain't talking about pine needles.
there
No,
was,
we ain't talking pine needles.
it's all overall. It's in pretty good shape considering what it was right after they rebuilt it, after they redid it on the interstate, after T-Dot came in and tore down our hip.
Well,
which really
and
bummed
considering
everybody out.
how old this ditch is,
Yeah, and you know it's kind of weird because you know I'm kind of anti-graffiti, but it does make it a little smoother and a little slicker. I'm not saying that I wanted the skate park or anything, but for this
Yeah, JD.
ditch, it
You might
does
about
make
5
it.
years.
It does make it a little slicker.
no, I think that we need to do to KSP what Bondi did.
Yeah, put a coating on it.
I think we need to do what they did in the early 80s and bulldoze it and build a new one.
Well, you come up with $1.5 million,
I'm not doing it.
yeah, we got a steal for that
Here's
part.
Lance ripping it up. Yeah, look at that. Oh, 50
alley-oop,
alley 50
50-50.
Yeah, JD.
Not
bonus
bad for a
tail.
couple of old guys.
Yeah.
Mike Lance doesn't even skate anymore.
Ah, nice.
He rips.
He skates the greenway
when
on
he
a pusher.
wants to skate. He
I know,
rips.
I know, because Lance is my age. We grew up competing against each other, and the dude can come out of retirement and blow everybody away.
I know.
What kills me is that he ever went into retirement.
JD with the double bird,
Mm-hmm.
front side, back side.
That's hard to keep speed
Look,
in there. on
and there's
that.
Bunny with the.
Woo!
There's our producer with the double 50-50. Yes,
Yeah, red.
with the
That was
backside
styling with the
bird.
bird.
No speed
One-handed
bird.
bird. Yeah, that was
And
styling.
That
JD
is so
doing
gnarly
the-
right there.
Doing the in the chunker.
Right.
Because there's a big chunk in that coping right there that makes it almost impossible to do a 50-50 or an axle stall. And JD did it.
What's he riding? Soft slides or
Soft slides.
yeah?
And what
Or
you
is he
can't
riding
see
rough?
in-
Is he riding soft slides or rough riders?
Nope, soft slides. So this is what Wallows looks like these days. Come on down. It's on Google Maps. Just go hit Google Maps. It's on Google Maps.
Interstate 40 at the paper mill exit in Knoxville.
It's right there. So come on down, hit our park. You know, there's more than just Wallows in Knoxville. We've also got a couple more ditches. There's a ditch in Nashville,
Briley?
Briley Parkway, that's been there for years and years and years and years.
Since Jay was a wee
You know,
lad.
I've got a story about that ditch. When I was a little kid, I was the first person that found it. Okay? I lived in a house that was near there.
Back when you were a little tiny baby. Why
I think you're telling Jay's story. Why don't you
I am
why don't we
telling
let Jay
Jay's story.
tell it?
why don't you throw up a little bit of that Briley Parkway footage.
I'm doing it right now.
There we go. Boom. Boom. There it is. Now, this is from a few years back, actually, from like 10 years back. But this ditch has been in Nashville since the 70s.
When they cut the parkway.
When they cut the parkway through, I was just a little grommet skater, and I was rolling around on these big wide interstates that they were just building one day on my Logan Ersky or Road Rider 4s and Bennett trucks, cruising down these hills, and I come up over the top of this hill, and I look down, and it's like, oh.
That's a pretty good looking ditch. It's really
And
mellow,
there it
but-
was, and it freaked me out, because at the time there were no skate parks.
Is that John Davis?
That was John
That
Davis.
was, I could tell that style a
John
mile
Davis, the man, the legend,
away. We need to get him on the show.
Super Drag, Lee's a memory.
So our awesome theme song rip-off of TV Party,
was done by that man there.
Yep.
And actually,
He probably doesn't want anybody to know that.
Do you remember when we were in Virginia Beach and Glenn Gutierrez said you guys have the most awesome
Theme
intro
song, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, anyways, this ditch has been there since the 70s. It's been an awesome ditch.
Yeah, Jay.
People have been skating it ever since then.
Jay, are you riding like a wooden board?
I was riding
solid
wood wooden board with mid tracks and
I can just tell there was no
109s. Indy 109s.
There was no kicktail there. It was a solid wood board.
I had a wedge kicktail on it. But this ditch has been there for a long time. But in the last 10 years, they've built a wall in between the ditch and the interstate.
What?
And the kids have got down there. That's Johnny Torch, that is a local band guy in in Nashville. And they built a wall, a sound barrier wall. So this ditch is pretty hard to get to now.
You got to climb the wall, or
No.
A junkyard, don't you?
You've
Or
got to go up to the Home Depot and truck down through the forest, through the trees and stuff, and no one will find it unless it's there. But they've been doing a lot of DIY work down there. There's some good stuff. Now, once again, this is 10 years ago, and there's lots more DIY down there than there was
we should road
when
trip.
this was shot. And so this is some of the Nashville locals I was skating with that day.
We should go check it out.
This was cool.
The
You
little
get
tree
tubed,
tunnel.
you
Yeah.
get tubed.
Tree tube.
Yeah. But it's a good ditch. It's rough. It's rough, nasty rough, but that's what ditches are for.
Well, you got to have the super soft wheels for it.
You know,
it's not so bad.
Back in the 70s, a lot of kids who were in surf culture, they found these urethane wheels, and they started riding on banks and kind of emulating surf style.
and you know where they found those urethane wheels? They found them on printing machines and like these roller things that went through the warehouses.
Yeah.
That's where they found them.
And they would,
I think it was a guy named Frank. I think it might have been Frank Nasworthy. Oh, I think they used them on motorcycles for a
Well,
while,
they
too.
kind of became lords.
Yeah.
Lords of...
There's John Davis.
Such a fool.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that big
Yeah.
ollie.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy was. He was a guy named
JD.
Yeah, John Davis. Shout out. Our
Epic ditch.
Our theme boy man.
Yes.
Johnny
Street
Torch.
plan.
Yeah. Gotta love that.
Team Geritol.
Yeah,
That's
Team
right.
Geritol.
I forget Nashville.
Those
Team
guys
Geritol.
are out of Nashville.
Oh,
Team
there's the old
Geritol.
Honda. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
The Honda no longer exists.
So
Look at the Epic Dick stickers.
Stickers. So this is in Nashville. Once again, we've got ditches in Nashville. We've got them in Knoxville. There's actually some ditches in Oak Ridge.
The Dandridge ditch is full of rocks now.
The Dandridge ditch, which we had on our last ditch episode, it's gone. It's full of rocks. There's the Oak Ridge ditch, which is still there. Josh Viles
The Oak
dropping in off the top of the Oak Ridge ditch,
That's a
down
pretty-
a chute, through the rest of the ditch. It's absolutely crazy, amazing. Josh has moved on. He's
Video
now
doesn't do it any justice,
That
dude.
means it's super fast when you're skating from the bottom.
crazy.
Downhill, super
And
steep.
to drop in down the chute, like if you were there and you walked up there with your board to set it in like I'm going to drop in, you would think twice and walk away.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he dropped in
Only
off the tunnel
only
top.
crazy kid
Yeah.
would do it.
Yeah.
There's
And now Josh has moved on. He's living in Richmond. He's sponsored. He just got an ad Thrasher
yeah, I heard about
in
that.
January. So,
I heard about that.
anyways, so that's a little bit about what we've got going on around East
That's
Tennessee
the ditch
with
scene.
ditches. And so there, come to East Tennessee, skate some shitty ditches.
Send us an email at the Kickturn Party website, or what is it? Kickturnparty@gmail.com.
Golly, we're-
Send us an email. Let us know you're coming to town.
Kickturnparty.com. We've got.
Let us know you're coming. We'll hang out with you. We'll take you to our favorite bar. We'll take you to our
Guided
favorite
ditch
spot.
tours with Nate.
Yeah, we
we'll
might.
send you some stitchers. We'll send you some stitchers if you're.
Yeah, we'll send you some.
Hey, just ask Shreddy Mercury if you get stickers in the mail.
We'll send you some stickers. We'll tell you where the dishes are at. We might come and hang out with you if you're.
Oh, fuck these guys.
If
I'll
you're
come and hang out with
privileged.
you. I'll come and hang out with you. I'm not a bigot like this guy, so I'll come and hang
He
out.
won't. He comes out like once every 6 months now. So
I'm old, so
He's
there
got
you
cars to deal with.
Jay has to be home at like 9 p.m.
have it. Well, you can't skate down there without lights. There ain't no lights in Wallows. Anyway, that's it. We've had another episode of Kickturn.
Thanks for coming by. We appreciate
Thanks for
it.
coming by. That's about dishes in Tennessee.
Thanks to Rhett.
Thanks to
Thanks
Rat.
for having me.
bye.
We'll see you guys next time on Kickturn Party.
What the fuck, dude?
Everybody's gonna hang out here tonight. Alright! We'll pass out in the flat. Alright! Tonight! We got nothing better to do than to take 6 runs, drink a dozen brews. Don't talk about anything else. We don't wanna know. We're dedicated to beers, smoke, and bros. Backside slasher. Reptile ground.